Are we going to be in a bear market now, or are we entering into a bull market? The blood moon is the lunar eclipse. Usually these eclipses have major effects on markets because it affects our brains. Hey guys, I want to make this quick video of where I see the crypto markets going over the next couple of weeks and months, okay? I've been going back and forth. Are we going to be in a bear market now, or are we entering into a bull market? And this has been a struggle for me this weekend. I'm not going to lie. Overall, the sentiment in crypto is very bearish. Everyone I talk to has emotionally capitulated. Let's just put it that way. And they're afraid to stick their hard-earned cash into the crypto market right now. So sentiment is at an all-time low. But that shows that we haven't really entered a bear market yet. We're still, people are like, this is the phase of like the next bull run. We're resetting the momentum. I was hoping, and I'm still hoping, right, that we first rip to the upside, hitting around 130, 140 for Bitcoin, and for XRP around $4 to $4.20, and then crash and capitulate. But it's really hard to say right now because the blood moon is coming on 3/3, which is March 3rd, and the blood moon is the lunar eclipse. Usually these eclipses have major effects on markets because it affects our brains, right? So these eclipses have released electromagnetic energy, and as humans, we don't realize the level of effect that has on our brains, that electromagnetic energy in our collective consciousness, right, as a species. And I've noticed these patterns, like where we as a species behave erratically during these time periods, right? Especially during lunar eclipses and solar eclipses. And typically during lunar eclipses, we as a collective consciousness believe we should crash the markets, okay? And then during solar eclipses, we just buy, and we have this level of euphoria. So we're entering our third lunar eclipse. We had one back in March, and then you saw the April event with the tariffs, and then we had one, I think, in September, and then that one led to an October 10th crash. So typically with the lunar eclipses, the effects of it we see roughly 4 to 6 weeks after the lunar eclipse, okay? So with the 3/3 lunar eclipse, we should see something in March or early April, okay? So I'm still hoping that we rally really hard to the upside and then we crash, but that's my optimistic side, and I'm not sure if we're gonna have it, but that's the most ideal scenario, okay? And I wanna show you what I see, and I'm gonna go through trading different specifically in this video, and maybe in the following video we'll go over trading view, okay? Trading different is a hack. I learned this from Crypto Insights UK. I've been watching him for a number of months, and he does great analysis. You guys should definitely follow him as well. So that idea of analyzing trading different came from him, okay? So let's get into it. So I'm gonna share my screen. This is a screen of XRP. I want you guys to learn how to look at these charts. Just don't pay attention to what's on X and what's on YouTube. These people are influencers. What does that mean? They are motivated, they're financially incentivized to influence you, to follow them, so that way they get capture more of your attention. On this channel, I'm just here to give you guys information and for you to learn how to make your own decisions, okay? I feel like that's where I want to differentiate myself from everyone else. I want to behave ethically with you guys and also give you the information for you guys to make an educated opinion. Like what I found is some people don't want to behave ethically and moral anymore in our society. And I don't want that part of our society to disappear. So in this channel, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna behave ethically and morally and actually look at the information and the data without any kind of excuse, okay? So here is a chart of, of trading different, okay? And what I do is I look up the Binance coin for XRP, and then I put in the daily, okay? And then here I put in the 3x, the 5x, the 10x, and the 25x leverage, okay, on Binance. And whenever it's red, that means that's where most traders have put their stop orders for liquidation. That means their leverage is going to get liquidated here, okay? So when the red is below the price, that means that someone's trying to leverage long. And if the market maker, meaning Binance specifically in this chart, okay, wants to take these people's coins, they're going to drive the price down so hard to where the person gets liquidated and they get to take their coins to recover Binance, so Binance can recover. You have to remember, the market maker does not want people to get rich off of them. They're on one side and you're on the other side. So the retail thinks, hey, let me put in this leverage long position, and then XRP is going to go and I'm going to make a crap ton of money. Now Binance sees you and sees your trade. They know what price they have to wick it down to. And you have to understand, they got bills to pay. They got private jets. They got fancy parties. And they're having them every single month, okay? They need your crypto to pay the bills, okay? The trading fees are not enough for them to survive and run their company, okay? They got payroll. They got office space in multiple countries. They need your coins, okay? So when you leverage, they see your leverage position and then they want to take it for themselves. So XRP specifically, okay? This is not going to be happy days for some people, okay? So there is a pretty nasty leverage long position sitting here, okay? This red, they always gobble it up. So this red starts at $1 and about 3 cents, okay? $1.03, okay? And then it finishes up at $1. So I see it all go into this like grassy green. So around like, I can see like 95.5 cents, the price going down. So I'm not sure if we're gonna wick up first, okay, to $4 and then come back and get liquidated. Ideally, that's where I would like to see. That would really mess up a lot of people, okay? Because there's a lot more red up there than there is down here, okay? But we just don't know, okay? So you got to know where the bottoms are at and where the tops are, okay? So the tops right now are roughly around $4, okay? But here we have this position at $1, so the market maker will bring it down. So I'm expecting this, especially after the lunar eclipse, that this is going to get hit, okay? Like, some people have talked about 70 cents. Let me see if there's anything. I don't see it at 70 cents. And then let me look at above. Sorry, this thing is really slow. because they just go through so much data. Yeah, see, like, I just see them going higher. Really want to take all these people's coins. If they drop it, if they move it up and then they move it down, they wipe out a lot of retail people. And like, especially after October 10th, and then if we have another liquidation like that again after the lunar eclipse, I don't know how many more retail people are going to be out there in the market. I think it's primarily going to be institutional guys going forward. So the best thing you can do is just hold through the volatility. If you need to de-risk, if we go higher, definitely de-risk. Don't get greedy and get your capital out because these lunar eclipses are volatile. But after the lunar eclipse, we just have solar eclipses this meet the year. So we're good at that point. And we just have to survive a couple more weeks and then it's full on bull because you have to remember like the US government has to roll its debt and there's $8 trillion of interest payments that it has to roll. We don't have the GDP to cover that interest payments. So we're going to go full bull and then we have to roll that debt. All that excess printing has to go somewhere. And crypto is going to be one of the primary beneficiaries for that. You see right here, we have around $4. We have some sitting here. All this has to find a home. Okay. Meaning Binance has to take all these coins. Okay. So they're going to come and take these coins. Okay. And then on the Bitcoin side, there's not enough leverage long liquidity sitting there right now at 46. And they've basically wiped out all the leverage long liquidity on Bitcoin. They've done a really good job taking all of it at 60. Once they took that 60K wick, they basically took everything out there. You see, they always chase the red. Sorry for it being so slow. You see right here how it came down, got this red at 74. Then they saw this little bit of red sitting at 68, and they couldn't help themselves. And then they came and did a hard wick down for this, even this yellow right here, just a really microsecond, and people got wiped out. So this is how you pay attention. Trading different is great. I found it as a hack. Videos to get you guys comfortable with this, and I'll see you in the next one.